If you're trying to beat the heat, a tower fan might be the solution. So the question is that $30 tower fan just as good as the one that cost over $400? Well, let's find out. In the first test, we'll see which fan makes the most airspeed. We'll also compare fan noise and energy use. Then we'll test the durability of the tower fans when they tip over. At a price of only $29, the least expensive tower fan we'll be testing is made by Comfort Zone. It's a 32-inch fan with 3 speeds. They claim it offers 90 degrees of oscillation. Compared to regular fan, they claim this one offers enhanced air circulation. They also claim it's whisper quiet. We're going to test that. And the Comfort Zone is made in China. Weight is sometimes an indicator of quality, and the Comfort Zone weighs 5.18 pounds. On the lowest fan speed, the Comfort Zone is using around 33 watts of electricity and is moving air at around 7.8 miles per hour. On the highest fan speed setting, close to 41 watts and 9.8 miles per hour. At a price of $48 is this OmniBreeze brand. It has 4 different fan modes including normal, natural, sleep, and auto mode. The OmniBreeze does come with a remote control. The remote control for the OmniBreeze is supposed to have a range of around 20 feet. It has an LED display. And the OmniBreeze is made in China. And it's 7.1 pounds for the OmniBreeze. The OmniBreeze uses a little less electricity compared to the Comfort Zone on low fan speed at close to 28 watts but makes more airspeed at around 10 miles per hour. The OmniBreeze is at close to 56 watts on high and is making great airspeed at around 15.7 miles per hour. At a price of $53 is this Amazon Basics brand. It's a 40-inch fan with 70 degrees of oscillation. They claim it offers 50 watts of power. We're going to test that. Just like the OmniBreeze, it does include a remote control. You can set a timer for up to 15 hours. 4 speeds and 3 modes, which include standard, breeze, and nature. And the Amazon Basics is made in China. And the Amazon Basics weighs 7.28 pounds. The Amazon Basics is about the same as the Comfort Zone at 34.5 watts, but makes the most airspeed yet on low fan speed at 10.8 miles per hour. On high fan speed, around 56.4 watts at around 14.7 miles per hour. At a price of $55 is this Senville brand. It's a 42-inch tower fan with customizable height, LED display, and it comes with a remote control. It can be set up to be from 32 to 42 inches. It has 3 different modes and a 7-hour timer. And the Senville fan is made in China. And the Senville is the heaviest yet at 8.65 pounds. The Senville only uses around 24.2 watts on the lowest fan speed and around 8.8 miles per hour of airspeed. On high fan speed, around 34 watts and 13 miles per hour is pretty good. At a price of $56 is this Honeywell brand. It's supposed to cool an entire room with quiet operation. It's an oscillating fan that has an automatic shutoff. It also has 5 different fan speeds. 5 different lighting selections at 100%, 75, 50, 25%, and off. The Honeywell also includes a remote control. And the Honeywell is made in China. And it's 6.62 pounds for the Honeywell. The Honeywell is at close to 20 watts on low fan speed but is really struggling with airspeed at less than 4 miles per hour. On the highest fan speed setting, only 29.2 watts and close to 9 miles per hour. At a price of $60 is this Vagcree brand. They claim 90 degrees of oscillation and 135 degrees vertical. It's a 42-inch oscillating tower fan with 4 modes and 4 wind speeds. It also comes with a remote control, 15-hour timers. They claim an airspeed at 24 feet per second. We're going to test that. And the Vagcree is made in China. And the Vagcree weighs 6.84 pounds. The Vagcree is at close to 30 watts on low fan speed and the airspeed is only at 6 miles per hour. On high fan speed, around 44 watts and 12.6 miles per hour to move into 4th place behind the Senville. At a price of $66 is this Homes brand. They claim an airspeed of up to 19.7 feet per second. It's a 42-inch digital tower fan with accent light, clear reading display, and high and low brightness level. They claim it delivers 90 degrees of oscillation. They also claim 1070 CFM. 5 speeds, 4 modes, and an 8-hour timer. Remote storage incorporated in back of tower fan. And the Homes is made in China. And the Homes weighs 7.19 pounds. The Homes is about the same as the Vagcree at close to 30 watts, but a little bit more airspeed at 7 miles per hour. On high fan speed, the Homes is close to 47.8 watts and moves into 2nd place at close to 15 miles per hour. At a price of $72 is this Pelonis brand. It's a 42-inch tower fan with 6 different fan speeds. They claim it offers whisper cool comfort, so it's supposed to be really quiet. They claim it's designed with a high-quality AC motor. It also has 4 modes and a 24-hour timer. And the Pelonis is made in China. And it's 7.95 pounds for the Pelonis. The Pelonis is very energy efficient on low speed at under 13 watts and 5.6 miles per hour of airspeed. On high fan speed, 37 watts is pretty good, and so is 13.7 miles per hour of air movement. At a price of $75 is this Levoit brand. They claim this standing tower fan only makes 28 decibels. It comes with a remote and it also has a 12-hour timer. What's nice about the Levoit is it does have a storage pocket for the remote. They claim a wind speed of 25 feet per second and 1,062 CFM of airflow. It's supposed to also offer 90 degrees of oscillation. And the Levoit is made in China. And the Levoit's pretty heavy at 8.68 pounds. The Levoit is also very efficient at only 17 watts and 6.6 miles per hour of airspeed. On high speed, 34.6 watts and the Levoit moves into the lead at just over 17.1 miles per hour. At a price of $77 is this Lasko brand. The Lasko is a 42-inch tower fan. It even has a 7.5-hour timer. It has 3 different air speeds as well as a remote control. They claim that this fan oscillates and it's also quiet. And the Lasko is made in China. And the Lasko is by far the heaviest yet at 9.19 pounds. The Lasko uses a lot of juice on low at 42.6 watts but makes pretty good airspeed at 11 miles per hour. On high fan speed, the Lasko is just over 55 watts and around 14.5 miles per hour of airspeed. At a price of $80 is this Drio brand. They claim an air velocity of 25 feet per second. They say it's pretty quiet at only 28 decibels. They claim this thing has a supercharged electric motor that delivers a high fan speed and refreshing winds. It has up to an 8-hour timer. They also claim it oscillates 90 degrees and it has 4 different fan speeds. And the Drio weighs 7.72 pounds. The Drio is very energy efficient on low at just over 23 watts but still makes good airspeed at 8.3 miles per hour. On the highest fan speed, only 37.8 watts and 17.15 miles per hour, and the Drio moves into the lead over the Levoit. At a price of $100 is this Vornado brand. They claim this fan is designed and supported in Andover, Kansas, not too far away from Tornado Alley. They claim that the powerful AC motor produces a higher volume of air movement and circulates more air effectively through the room. It oscillates for 70 degrees of cooling airflow. It has 4 different modes: normal, natural, sleep, and auto, and 4 different speeds. And the Vornado is made in China. And the Vornado is by far the heaviest yet at 11.15 pounds. The Vornado uses quite a bit of electricity on low fan speed at almost 43 watts and the airspeed is at 5.3 miles per hour. On high fan speed, just over 89 watts the most yet, and 15 miles per hour is better than average. And the most expensive brand that we'll be testing at a price of $483 is this Dyson brand. It's supposed to automatically detect and then report air quality levels. They claim it delivers 77 gallons of air per second. It oscillates from 45 to 350 degrees. Unlike the other brands, this one includes a HEPA filter to really purify the air. It provides real-time air monitoring on PM 2.5, PM10, VOC, and NO2. And the Dyson is made in Malaysia. And the Dyson weighs just over 10 pounds. The Dyson is by far the most energy efficient on low at only 4 watts but produces less than 1 mile per hour of airspeed. On the highest fan speed, 40.6 watts and 7.6 miles per hour. So on the highest fan speed, the Honeywell is the most energy efficient at 27.9 watts. The Senville finished in second place at 34 watts and Levoit third at 34.6. When it comes to fans, airspeed is a very important factor to consider, and the Drio finished in first place at 17.15 miles per hour. The Levoit finished in a very close second place at 17.12 miles per hour. Omnibreeze also performed well in third place at 15.7 miles per hour. Let's measure the speed of the air with the fan 10 feet away from the airspeed meter. The tissue has 3 paper clips fastened to the bottom to help weigh it down. The comfort zone is on the highest fan speed setting. Splitting the difference between the low and the high mark, the airspeed meter is measuring around 0.85 meters per second or 1.9 miles per hour. And the Omnibreeze is really whipping around the tissue and producing almost twice the airspeed at around 1.7 meters per second or 3.8 miles per hour. The Amazon Basics varied from 1.48 to 1.69 meters per second, which works out to around an average speed of 3.65 miles per hour. The Senville varies quite a bit from 1.18 to 1.46 meters per second for an approximate average airspeed of just under 3 miles per hour to move into third place behind the Amazon Basics. The Honeywell isn't moving the tissue too much at around 1.12 to 1.18 meters per second or just over 2.5 miles per hour. The Valkyrie is less consistent than the Honeywell, but it's blowing harder at around 1.4 meters per second, which works out to around 3.1 miles per hour. Splitting the difference between the low and the high mark, the Holmes is around 1.2 meters per second or 2.64 miles per hour. The Pelonis is performing a little bit better than the Holmes at around 1.39 meters per second or 3.1 miles per hour. And the Levoit is holding the tissue pretty steady and making the most airspeed yet at around 1.76 meters per second or almost 4 miles per hour. The Lasko is less consistent and slower than the Levoit at around 1.1 to 1.37 meters per second, which works out to an average of 2.7 miles per hour. And the Drio makes the most airspeed yet at around 1.92 to 2.51 meters per second or almost 5 miles per hour. Very impressive! The Vornado has a very large grill, allowing it to move a large volume of air at a lower airspeed of close to 3 miles per hour. The Dyson looks pretty sporty, but it doesn't protect produce nearly as much movement at around 0.65 meters per second or an average speed of 1.45 miles per hour. With the fans positioned 10 feet away from the airspeed meter, the Drio came out on top with an approximate airspeed of 4.94 miles per hour. Levoit finished in second place at 3.95 miles per hour and the Omni Breeze third at 3.8. If you're trying to have a conversation, fan noise can be a pretty big deal. So let's measure the noise level from 36 inches from a sound meter. The comfort zone is pretty loud on low speed at 46.1 decibels. The comfort zone is at 51.2 decibels on medium and 57.6 decibels on high speed. The Omni Breeze makes more airspeed than the comfort zone, but it's less noisy at 43 decibels on low. It's about the same noise level on medium at 51 and a little bit louder on high at 58.3 decibels. The Amazon Basics is the loudest yet on low fan speed at 50 decibels. It's also the loudest yet on the medium fan speed at 55.6 decibels and 59.6 on high fan speed. The Senville doesn't produce as much airspeed as some of the other brands, but it is the quietest yet at 37.8 decibels on low. It's also at 48.4 decibels on medium and 52.6 on high fan speed. The Honeywell is also very quiet on low speed at 37.8 decibels. The Honeywell is at 50.1 decibels on medium and 54.1 decibels on the highest fan speed. The Valkyrie is just as quiet as the Honeywell on low at 37.8 decibels. It's at 43.6 on medium and it's at 57.5 decibels on the maximum speed setting. Holmes is the quietest yet at 37.7 decibels on low speed. 50 decibels on medium is about average and so is 58.5 on full fan speed. The Pelonis is the quietest yet at 37.1 decibels on low speed. The middle speed setting is only at 37.7 decibels and high speed 54.5 decibels. Levoit is pretty quiet at 37.8 decibels on low and 46.7 decibels on medium speed. 56 decibels on high speed is pretty good considering the airspeed of over 17 miles per hour. The Lasko makes a bit of a humming sound or drone sound on low speed and is pretty loud at 49.3 decibels. 51.3 decibels on medium is about average and the Lasko is at 51.7 decibels on maximum speed. The Drio is pretty quiet on low speed at 37.8 decibels. It's at 42.2 decibels on medium and 54.5 decibels on high, which is pretty good considering the high airspeed. The Vornado makes a bit of a hum, but it's still pretty quiet at 37.8 decibels. 45.6 decibels on medium isn't too bad, but 62.1 decibels on high fan speed is the loudest yet. The Dyson is very quiet on the lowest fan speed at only 37.1 decibels. On medium speed, 45.9 decibels, and the Dyson is pretty loud on the highest speed at 60.1 decibels. Excessive fan noise can interfere with communication, and the Pelonis and the Dyson make the least amount of noise on the lowest fan speed at 37.1 decibels. Noise level on the highest fan speed setting does not take into account airspeed or air volume. However, the Lasko is the least noisy at only 51.7 decibels. Senville finished in second place at 52.6 decibels and Honeywell third at 54.1. Airspeed is one thing, but if you're trying to move some air into a space, CFM is also very important. The airspeed meter needs to know the width and the height of the fan outlet. On the highest speed setting, the comfort zone had a range between 160 and 174 CFM. Taking the middle point between the upper and the lower range works out to 167 CFM. And the Omni Breeze performed quite a bit better with an average of 750. On the highest fan speed, the Amazon Basics moves into second place at 704 CFM. The Senville continues to trail the Omni Breeze and the Amazon Basics with an average of 608 CFM. And the Honeywell trails the Senville on this test at 522 CFM on average. The Valkyrie performed well at 637 CFM to move into third place. And the Holmes performed about the same as the Honeywell at around 525 CFM. The Pelonis moves into second place behind the Omni Breeze at 720 CFM on average. The Levoit not only makes high airspeed, it also moves a lot of air at 855 CFM to move into the lead. And the Lasko performed very close to the same as the Levoit at around 855 CFM on average. And the Drio moves into the lead over the Levoit and the Lasko at around 925 CFM. And a Vornado has a very large outlet and massive crossflow fan that moves by far the most air yet at around 1,170 CFM. Very impressive. And the Dyson really struggled in this test at around 105 CFM on average. If you need a fan to move a lot of air, the Vornado came out on top at 1,170 CFM. The Drio finished in second place at 925 CFM. The Pelonis and Levoit tied for third at 855 CFM. Tall, narrow objects can be tip-over hazards when they get bumped. So let's test the tip-over angle next. We've got more testing to do, so I won't crash test the fans just yet. With a base of only 10.75 inches across, the comfort zone tipped over at 16.8 degrees. The Omni Breeze has a wider base at 11.5 inches, and it performed even better at 17.5 degrees. Amazon Basics has a base of 11.5 inches, but it's top-heavy, and it tipped over at only 13.9 degrees. The Senville has a pretty wide base at 13 inches, but it's also very top-heavy, and it tipped over at 13.7 degrees. The Honeywell has a narrow base at only 10.5 inches and is the most tip-happy yet at 12.2 degrees. The base of the Valkyrie is about the same as the Amazon Basics, and it performed well at 15.6 degrees. With the base that's only 10.2 inches across, the Homes likes to lay down at only 12 degrees. And the Pelotas has a base that's 12.5 inches across, and it performed better than most at 15.5 degrees. The Levoit's base is close to 12 inches across, and it moves into a two-way tie for second place with the Comfort Zone at 16.8 degrees. The Lasko is a little bit top-heavy, but it has a base that's 13 inches across. And 16.7 degrees is pretty good. The Drio's base is pretty narrow at only 11.8 inches across, and it tips over pretty easily at 13.7 degrees of tilt. The base in the Vornado is right at 12 inches, and the Vornado performed better than average at 16.3 degrees. Even though the Dyson is pretty bottom heavy, with a base at only 8 inches, the Dyson took a fall at only 13.8 degrees. So the very affordable OmniBreeze made it to 17.5 degrees of tilt before toppling over. The Comfort Zone and the Levoit tied for second place at 16.8 degrees. Assessing build quality is highly subjective. Some of the fans were very wobbly while others are pretty solid on its base. The build quality assessment also includes durability from tip over. The Comfort Zone, OmniBreeze, Amazon Basics, and Senville all experienced a pretty hard direct impact and did not experience any noticeable damage. Unfortunately, the base on the Honeywell did experience damage from the direct impact. The snap fit clip that holds the plastic leg together is now broken. The Valkyrie and Homes also held up just fine from the impact. Unfortunately, the top part of the Pelotas fan includes several pieces that just snap into place, and a couple of the plastic pieces are now out of position. The Levoit seems well constructed and handled the impact just fine. The base on the Lasko came loose and the top plastic housing began to separate. The Drio, Vornado, and Dyson held up just fine without any visible damage. Assessing build quality and durability is highly subjective. None of the fans received the best possible rating of 1, but 5 of the brands did receive a pretty good rating of 2. So which fan is the best? The left side of the chart includes the ungraded categories. I decided not to include noise level since some people may actually want a more noisy fan to drown out disruptive background noise. Other people may want a quiet fan for conversational purposes. For the graded areas on the right side of the chart, I've converted the raw data into a 1st through 13th ranking. And the Levoit came out on top with the best average finish of 2nd place. It scored well in every category and would definitely be my choice if the budget allows. The Drio also performed very well with an average finish of 3rd place. The Drio would have actually taken over 1st place if one removes the tip over angle from the math. It's definitely another fan that I would purchase if it fits within the budget. The Vornado is the most powerful fan in the lineup and it moves the most air. As you'd expect, it also uses the most electricity. If it's all about value, the OmniBreeze seems like a pretty good value for around $48. While it is a little bit energy thirsty, it did perform well in most categories, but the build quality doesn't seem to be quite as good as the Levoit, Drio, and Vornado. It's always great to see affordable products beat the more expensive ones, and I hope this review helps you beat the heat. All the videos in this channel, including this one, are viewer suggested, so if you have a video idea, I hope you'll take time to leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching, please take care and look forward to next time.